This is Seeking the Word. Today we're reading Genesis 9, 1 through 17. This is the fourth and final part of the flood narrative. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you will be on every animal on the earth, and on every bird of the sky. Everything that moves on the ground and all the fish of the sea are delivered into your hand. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. As I gave you the green herb, I have given everything to you. But flesh with its life, that is, its blood, you shall not eat. I will surely require accounting for your lifeblood. At the hand of every animal I will require it. At the hand of man, even at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, his blood will be shed by man, for God made man in his own image. Be fruitful and multiply, bring out abundantly in the earth, and multiply in it." God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, "As for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every animal on the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, even every animal of the earth, I will establish my covenant with you. All flesh will not be cut off any more by the waters of the flood. There will never again be a flood to destroy the earth." God said, "This is the token of the covenant which I made between me and you, and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it will be a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. When I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow will be seen in the cloud. I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. The waters will no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow will be in the cloud. I will look at it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on earth." God said to Noah, "This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all the flesh that is on the earth." The passage opens with blessing, "Be fruitful and multiply." That command appears again after the flood. Dominion language is present, but it includes a new element. The fear of you and the dread of you will be on every animal. That wording was not previously stated in Genesis. The animals are described as delivered into humanity's hand. Dietary permission expands. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. The text compares this to the earlier gift of green herbs. A restriction immediately follows. Flesh with its life, its blood, is not to be eaten. The phrase "I will require" is repeated multiple times in reference to life blood. Verse 6 gives an explicit reason for the seriousness of shedding human blood. For God made man in his own image. The command to be fruitful and multiply is repeated again in verse 7. Beginning in verse 8, the focus shifts to covenant language. The word covenant appears multiple times. The covenant is described as being with Noah, his sons, their offspring, and every living creature, birds, livestock, and every animal of the earth. The phrase "all flesh" is repeated. The promise is stated negatively. All flesh will not be cut off by the floodwaters. The phrase "never again" is expressed more than once. The sign of the covenant is the rainbow in the cloud. The text emphasizes remembrance. "I will remember my covenant, and I will look at it that I may remember." The covenant is described as perpetual and everlasting. There is no recorded response from Noah in this section. The movement of the passage is blessing, command, expanded permission, restriction, accountability, sign, reaffirmation of promise. This feels like a reset. God says, "Be fruitful and multiply" again. He already said that once, so it reads like starting over. Not pretending nothing happened, just starting again. But it's not the same word. Now animals are food. That's new. Before it was plants. Here it says every moving thing that lives will be food. That changes something. Life feeds on life now in a way it wasn't described earlier. And right beside that, there are limits. No blood. And then God says he will require lifeblood. He repeats that word, require, accounting. That's heavy language. It doesn't sound casual. He ties it directly to man being made in his image. That's the stated reason. So human life carries weight because the text says it does. Then there's the fear and dread part. Animals will fear man now. That wasn't said before. It feels like distance being built into the structure of things. Not explained, just stated. And when the covenant comes, what stands out is how wide it is. All flesh. That phrase keeps showing up. Earlier, the judgment reached all flesh. Now the promise reaches all flesh. Same scope, same reach, but now it's a limit, a boundary placed on destruction. The rainbow as the sign God says he will remember when he sees it. I don't read that as forgetfulness. It sounds like commitment. Like the promise is tied to something visible in the sky, and not just visible to him, it's visible to mankind too. Every time it appears, it stands there as a reminder that the flood won't happen that way again. Not just that God remembers, but that we can see the sign of that covenant ourselves. Noah doesn't respond here. That doesn't bother me. I'm not sure I'd have much to say either. After something like that, I think the response will just be obedience. Move forward under what was said. So yeah, it feels like a reset, but not back to innocence. More like moving into a world with new permissions, new limits, and a promise hanging over everything that breathes. That completes the flood narrative, from corruption to judgment to covenant. And this is Seeking the Word.